Welcome to the Uzziah Show. It's me, Uzziah, the host, your success strategist. And if you have any questions about your business, career, or finances, then this is the show for you. Welcome. Happy Sunday. Today, we're going to talk about 10 signs you think like a poor person. I know you don't think it's you. But tonight, we're going to identify 10 signs, 10 ways you're still in the midst of doing things that gives off poor energy. Make sure y'all tap in with me because tonight we're going in, y'all. Make sure that you smash the like button. If you just now joined, welcome. For those of you guys that are joining this show for the very first time, my name is Uzziah, your success strategist. I am a professional business consultant, and my job is to help you get out of debt so you can start your own business. This channel is all about helping you reach your goals so you can get to the next level and become the very best version of yourself. And all I ask in return is that you smash that like button. If y'all love what this channel is about, then please make sure that y'all show some love. Make sure that you subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Let's get this channel growing, y'all. Tonight, we're going to talk about 10 signs you think like a poor person. And when we talk about this, I really want to think about, y'all know how people act hood rich? Do y'all know how the minute somebody gets some money in their pocket, instantly they think that they're wealthy? That's not a sign of real wealth. I know y'all got these family members and friends. Y'all got the uncles that you would hang out with from your neighborhoods, people that you see on the street corners. They got all the clothes, they got all the cars, they got all the rims, they got all the shiny things. But guys, being hood rich doesn't mean that you're rich, rich. Okay. Being hood rich just means that you look like money, but it doesn't actually mean that you have money. I think this is a big problem, y'all. I think that there's too many of us right now that are confusing fake wealthy from real wealthy. And that's the reason why a lot of times you'll see folks on social media acting like they got the big house, the nice cars, but they don't actually have real dollars to their name. So shout out to those of y'all that are on right now. Do you think like a poor person? Can we be honest tonight, y'all? Are we still going to play games and lie to each other and act like we got it all down pat? Or are we going to have a heart to heart? Tonight, I want to find out from y'all. Do you think like a poor person? And I want you to let me know in the comments. Okay. Shout out to Ariel tuning in from Austin, Texas. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. Listen, y'all, if y'all think like a poor person, it's okay because this video is going to show you how to crack the code. I want to start talking about some of these ways that we act poor, y'all. If y'all okay, do you act poor? Leave me a comment, yes or no. We're just going to start it right there. Do you act poor? Yes or no? I want to know the reason why you think that you don't act poor. Do you think that you don't act poor because you make smart decisions with your money? Or do you think that you don't act poor just because you look a certain kind of a way? There's a big difference between looking the part and being the part. And now we're going to talk about this. The first sign that you think like a poor person is that you think like a consumer and not a producer. There's a big difference between people that make the money versus people that act like they have the money. The people that act like they have the money are the consumers, y'all. These are the ones that are basing all of their image around the latest thing that they have bought, the latest house, the latest cars, the latest watches. Producers don't care about that. Producers are the people making the cars, not the people buying the cars. Producers are the ones building the houses. They're not the ones buying the houses. When you are a producer, you are the distributor and the plug that other people follow. But you got to ask yourself, you got to be one or the other. Which one are you? Are you going to be the person that spends all of your time buying up all of the latest clothes just to make it look like you're on a level? Or are you going to be the person selling the clothes? Big difference, y'all. All right. If y'all are tuning in, make sure that y'all comment. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think is a sign of a poor person? What do you think is the sign of somebody that thinks poor? I'm not even going to talk about where people actually are financially because I want you to understand that rich and poor begins in the mind. Long before it's anything showing in your bank account, rich and poor is a mindset. So, to start y'all off for the week, I want us to have the right mentality. I want you to think about what is the right mentality for building generational wealth and what is the wrong mentality that keeps you broke. A lot of us get caught up in a poverty mindset. A lot of us get caught up in thinking about lack, and that's the reason why we always feel like we're in lack in our lives. If you're always running around saying, "Oh man, I never have enough money," then you're always going to feel like you're without. You have to start retraining your mind to see things in abundance so that way abundance can follow. Y'all got to understand when we talk about the first sign of a poor person in their mind being a consumer and not a producer, a consumer always thinks if I want to make more money, I just need to work more hours. They never think like a producer that says, if I want to make more money, I just need to create something that people want. See, the consumer is always thinking about trading time for money. A lot of us grew up thinking that we was going to become millionaires just by working at McDonald's longer than anybody else. You know, if I could just work at this job 80 hours a week, I'll have all the Jordans, I'll have all the phones. Back then they had the two-way pages that we wanted, you know, like the sidekicks. Y'all remember that? We always thought that as long as we invested more hours, then that's what would be tied to wealth. But that is a sign that we think like consumers, not like producers. Producers do not associate their time with money, they associate their product with money. If I build the right thing, if I can solve the right problem, then I can sell something to people at an unlimited quantity. But while we're so busy thinking that, oh man, as long as I punch this clock longer, that's what will do it. Rich people don't think that way. So the first thing that we have to do is get out of this everything is time, time, time mentality, because that goes to show our mind doesn't actually think like wealthy people. You think about Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, these are producers. Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, these are producers. They've built something, y'all. They wasn't focusing on putting in their time towards working for somebody. They were focused on building products that a lot of people would use. And we've got the talent to do the exact same thing. Now, the second sign of a poor person is that you're always relying on government handouts. Now, I know this is going to sting some of y'all, and I know I'm going to start to lose points, but just follow me. The reason why a lot of us still think in a poverty mindset is because we're so reliant on the government that we think that we can't get ahead unless a certain president is in office, unless we're getting certain checks. You know, a lot of us was balling out from all of the stimulus checks that came with you know, the you know what? When that started happening, as soon as all of those things happened, there was a lot of people that was trying to milk the system and not go back to work because they were like, well, if the government is giving away money, I made it. If the government is looking out for me, I'm rich. That's not what a wealthy person does. A wealthy person does not need to rely on Uncle Sam to make them money. They already got multiple streams of income. They got money coming from real estate, business, stocks, bonds, cryptocurrency, insurance. They've got all of these kinds of assets that they control without relying on somebody else. If you're constantly having to rely on stimulus checks or welfare just to get by, you need to change your lifestyle. You need to change how you think about the world, because if you always think about, you know, as long as I can get one over, that's what's going to keep you in a poverty mindset. As long as you think that, man, you know what, as long as I have these kids where I can get this tax write-off, that's not going to put you in a position where you can make your own checks. See, wealthy people are focusing on building skills that allows them to create their own checks. If you have the top skills that everybody in the world wants, you're always going to be in high demand. People are going to hunt you down. You're not going to depend on everybody else because everybody else is going to be dependent on you. It's a big difference between the mindset of a rich person and a poor person. And it all begins right here. The third sign, and let me know if y'all agree with this. Leave me a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are on the signs of a poor minded person. Just because you might not have a lot of money doesn't mean that you have to think like a person that doesn't have a lot of money. Just because you don't have six figures doesn't mean that you can't start building six-figure habits. It all has to begin in the mind, because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Once you start thinking it, then it turns into your reality. The third sign that you think like a poor person is that you don't focus on self improvement. Listen, y'all, one of the biggest signs that a lot of people are going to be stuck on broke is that they put all this money towards lottery tickets, but they don't put any money at all towards self improvement. Y'all know who that is. Y'all know y'all got family members and friends. Some of y'all do this right now. You are so hoping on being a lottery winner that, man, if I just scratch this ticket, I made it. You will bet on everybody else but yourself. Like, you'll bet on the president to fix your problems, you'll bet on the lottery to fix your problems, but you will never bet on yourself to fix your problems. Do you know that when you buy a lottery ticket, the odds are just as high that you won't win the lottery ticket if you never bought a lottery ticket at all, as if you actually bought a lottery ticket? The chances are that slim that you'll win. But even for the people that do end up winning the lottery, look at how many of them go bankrupt within a few years. Like, within 5 years or less, the average person that wins the lottery is going to be in the poorhouse. Why? Because it's not about how much money is in the bank. It's about how you think about money that determines your results. Rich and poor begins in the mind. So it doesn't matter what kind of degree, it doesn't matter how much money you make. Right now, all you need to focus on is getting your mind right, putting your mind in a position to win rather than thinking like people that lose. Now, Ariel said, I definitely bet on other things and other people before betting on myself. I think a reason why so many people don't bet on themselves, Ariel, is because it feels scary. A lot of people are too afraid to bet on themselves because that means if they try something and it doesn't work, they have nobody else to blame but themselves. A lot of people like to have other people that they can point the finger at and said, this is the reason my life is in shambles. Up, it's the government. Up, it's Trump. Up, it's Biden. It's you. At what point will you realize that the majority of the problems that you deal with on a day-to-day basis is based on the decisions that you make? Like, if y'all really think about this, some of the biggest problems that you deal with on a day-to-day basis are not political. It has to deal with your health. It has to deal with your relationships. It has to deal with the decisions that you've made that you have to live with, regardless of what policies are in place. But a lot of us, we don't like to be self accountable. We don't like to think, okay, you know what? This thing ends with me. But you know one thing about it, y'all? One of the best things that you can ever do in your life is to hold yourself accountable. Because if you hold yourself accountable and don't depend on anyone else, then that means that you empower you. You don't have to rely on nobody. You don't have to depend on nobody else's kindness. You can get up and you can make things happen. All right. So if y'all like what tonight's topic is about, make sure that y'all smash that like button. Make sure that y'all donate. Give a super chat, y'all. All you got to do is tap that dollar icon directly below the live chat box. And I would greatly appreciate it. Shout out to Quick Shot Satisfaction for the comments. Stop being quiet tonight, y'all. Leave me some comments. Let me know how y'all feel. It says betting on ourselves is taking responsibility for our future. Real talk. I mean, honestly, betting on myself is the only bet that I'm willing to make because I cannot depend on what anybody else is going to do. If I bet on anybody else to improve my life, imagine what type of danger I'm in. Because you don't know you don't know what a person is going to do from one day to the next. You don't know if a person is going to feel good or bad on one day. You don't know if a person is going to feel like working. You're putting too much of your life in somebody else's hands. When we're talking about creating generational wealth and taking your life to the next level, being the best version of yourself is all about you investing in yourself and focusing on you, betting on you, not looking to anybody else to fix your problems but you. And that's the fastest way to get from point A to point B. One sign of a poor person is that they're always blaming everybody else. It's never them. How many of us got family members and friends right now who every time something happens, it's always somebody else's fault? If you got somebody that like that right now, just press one. Just press one. But okay, if you don't got people that's in y'all's lives right now that is always blaming somebody else, how can you do the exact same things that they're doing and expect to get different results? How can you think what they think? How can you live like they live, but you expect to get different outcomes than the people that you look at and say, man, this person ain't going nowhere? The way that this person thinks is so destructive. There's no way I could possibly win if I move like this person. That's why rich and poor is all in the mind. Okay. This is not knocking anybody that's not on top of things, because we all have to start from the bottom. We all have to get it out the mud. But you will choose to stay at the bottom based upon the decisions that you make. Okay. So when we talk about these 10 signs that you think like a poor person, the third sign is that you focus more on a lottery system than you do on betting on yourself. Stop giving your life up to a lottery and start taking life into your own hands. Focus on self-improvement, because one thing that you can control in this life is yourself. If you wake up every single day committed to getting just a little bit better day by day, think about how far you can go in 1 year. Number 4, this is a big one, man. And I know these are cutting. I know y'all don't want to hear it. But as your brother that loves you, I got to tell you, the fourth sign that you think like a poor person is that you don't have a budget. Most poor people think, oh, well, the reason I don't have a budget is because I don't hardly make a lot of money. Once I make the money, then that's when I'll start budgeting it, since I need to know where it's going to go. No, you need to know where your money is going right now. Part of the reason why you don't have as much money as you think is because you don't know where it's going. The only people that can afford not to have a budget are the super rich that don't think like consumers. The people that are producers in this world who are printing money, they don't have to worry about a budget because they've got unlimited streams of income. If you're working at a job right now and you don't know how to make your own money, you need to have a budget. Unless you are filthy rich, you need to have a budget. Ain't nothing wrong with a budget, y'all. A budget is your friend. Okay. The budget is what's going to tell you whether or not you're spending beyond your means. And I always talk about the importance of y'all just getting on an online website like mint.com, something that will just show you exactly where your money is going. There's a lot of people that I've worked with who thought they knew how much money they were spending on food. They started budgeting their money on Mint. They realized they were spending maybe $100 more than they thought. There's a lot of people that think they know how much money they're spending on clothes. They went on Mint, started budgeting, and realized they're spending a lot more on clothes than they thought. One of the primary reasons why you are in poverty is because you don't have a handle on your money. When you look at somebody like Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors in the world, he knows where his money is going. These guys on Wall Street, the people that's really getting to the bag, they know where their money is going. They're focused on their dollars and cents. And these are all things that you need to do if you want to create wealth. Now, the fifth sign that you think like a poor person is that you still hang around toxic people. Listen, I always tell y'all, you're going to end up being the average of the 5 closest people that you spend most of your time with. Show me who your friends are, I'll show you who you are. So if you hang around 5 people that don't have a budget, then chances are you ain't going to have a budget because nobody in your circle is talking about budgeting. So you want to put yourself in a circle of people that are talking about budgeting. I was traveling today from Houston to Austin. And as I was on the road back, I was telling Ariel about this app that I'm using that gives you cash back whenever you go to certain gas stations. I'm always focusing on making the most of my money. But see, when you're in circles, the conversation is different. If she was traveling back from Houston to Austin with somebody else, they might have been talking about ways to spend money. I'm talking about ways to get money back. You got to put yourself in the presence of people who are having the conversations. Leave me a comment. How many people in your inner circle right now are talking about index funds? How many people in your inner circle are talking about tax deferred investment strategies? If you don't have one person in your circle that's talking about these things, you need to get a better circle. If you are the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And one sign of a poor person is they don't care what room they're in. You start looking at anybody that's successful, anybody who is at the top of their game. All elite performers always focus on their environment. They know if they put themselves in the presence of somebody that's doing better than them, that the success that the other person has is going to rub off. Likewise, they know if they put themselves in the presence of people that ain't doing nothing, that's going to negatively impact their thoughts because the types of conversations that those people are having is only going to weigh them down. Here it is, you're talking about leveling up. People that's not about nothing is always trying to blame somebody else for why they don't have it. You got to branch out. Just because you come from certain neighborhoods and certain backgrounds, that's no excuse not to branch out. You got to broaden your horizons and choose a better circle of friends. Now, the sixth sign is you never pay off your debt. This is a big one, guys. Listen, y'all kill me with this one. The reason why not paying off debt is a sign of poverty is because debt is the biggest deterrent to wealth. Having debt is the number one thing that is going to slow your wealth building process down. I have said this for so many years. I told y'all at 23 years old, I paid off over $95,000 in student loans 2 years after graduating from Baylor University, Sic 'em Bears. And the reason why I was able to become a real estate investor, a business owner, and have a best selling book is because the money that I was putting towards Sally Mae, I now was able to put into other investments. One reason why you don't have a lot of money to put towards investments is because all of your money is going towards expenses, is going towards credit cards, is going towards student loans, it's going towards a mortgage, it's going to all of these things that are taking money out of your pocket rather than putting money in. But if you're going to be successful, you need to always be putting your money into assets and not liabilities. Listen, what do y'all think? What do y'all think is one of the biggest reasons why maybe you're not further ahead as you want to be financially? Leave me a comment on that. If y'all are liking what we're talking about, make sure that you smash that like button. Tonight, we're talking about 10 signs you think like a poor person. Okay. Make sure that y'all donate, super chat. Even if you don't like using super chat, the Cash App and the PayPal information is on the screen, and the links to donate are in the descriptions below. Okay. So let's talk about what we've gone over so far. Number one, you think like a consumer, not a producer. Number two, you're relying on government handouts. Number three, you don't focus on self improvement. You would much rather put your hope on a lottery ticket than hope on yourself. Number four, you don't have a budget. Number five is that you hang around toxic people. Number six is that you never pay off debt. I'm telling y'all, just take my word for this. If you want to build long term wealth, the wisest decision is to pay off your debt. And the reason why this is so tied into long term wealth is because the best way to keep money in your pocket is by not owing somebody else. The best way to build assets is to not spend all of your money on liabilities. If you don't owe nobody nothing, all the money goes towards you. So that's the money that you'll be able to put towards your long-term investing. But the reason why it's so hard to have money set aside for long-term investing is because your expenses are piled up so high that you can't think past today. And that's one of the other signs of poor-minded people is instant gratification. No long-term plan. We'll always think about, well, what can I get today? That we never think about how to position ourselves for success tomorrow. But the seventh thing that I'm going to talk about right now is chasing the latest fads. We never focus on any one thing and go the distance. We always think about, man, well, what's popping today? Okay, if real estate is popping today, let's talk real estate. If crypto is popping tomorrow, let's talk crypto. If gold is in the conversation, let's talk about gold. You'll be so all over the place from one day to the next. You're not actually putting enough investment in any one thing long enough in order to blow up. Listen, y'all, if y'all are going to be successful at anything, you're going to have to put your hand at that thing long enough for it to turn into something. If you're going to be a real estate investor, you have to be in the real estate game long enough to win. You're not just going to get rich off of one property. You're not just going to get rich off of buying one share of a stock. Whatever it is that you do to build wealth, you got to keep doing it consistently over and over. But the problem is we live in a culture that is so just all over the place that people never tell you that the people that win the most are the ones who have been doing this for decades. Look at Warren Buffett. How long has Warren Buffett been investing in other companies? He's been investing in other companies longer than most of us have been alive. He did not switch up styles from one day to the next. There's a billion ways to win, but Warren Buffett has stayed the same decade after decade after decade. And even just now, as a senior citizen, he'll say, you know what? I typically have never invested in technology companies before. I just stick to what I know. And because he stuck to one thing and went hard at that, that's why he has the success he has today. We got to stop getting chased all over the place. We got to stop being so just fly by night with our investments. Number 8, the 8th sign that you think like a poor person is that you always focus on cost, not value. These are the types of people that will only shop at Walmart or Dollar General because they feel like they're getting one over. If you put yourself in a getting one over mentality, you are always going to stop yourself from greatness. Now, listen, y'all, I want y'all to follow what I'm saying. I'm not saying, if you don't have Costco money, I understand. If you don't have, the money to shop at a Whole Foods or something like that, I understand. What I'm saying is there are people that would be in position to do better, but they will never do better because they're always focusing on how do I game the system? How do I get this for free? How do I get this at a discount? When you're always focused on cost, you never put enough focus on value. Instead of always focusing on how much money am I spending, what you need to be focusing on is how much money will I get back? So if something costs me $500, but I could get $1,000 back, I'll gladly pay the 500 because I know I'm getting double back in return. But a lot of us, see, we'll spend like $200 on Jordans, zero ROI, but we'll never spend $200 on a book or a course or a program that could actually show us how to make a lot of money. This is the reason why a lot of us are stuck at a certain income level. Because when you go to school, school is only designed for you to operate within the middle class. It is not built for you to be a producer. The people that created the school systems are the ones that are producers. They built school to teach us how to consume. So y'all got to know this. These are secrets, y'all. And listen, this doesn't cost any money. This doesn't cost anything that you don't already have access to. All of this is in the mind. How do you just start training yourself to start believing, you know what? Whenever I start to see things that are on sale, let me not hurry up and jump at it. Let me always ask myself, what's the value in this? How many of us right now have had bad health because we'll go to fast food restaurants and be so quick to buy from them because we think that we're on a come up because we're getting something off the dollar value menu. Okay, you're getting something off the dollar menu, but how much is that going to cost you in the hospital room? Okay, somebody may have given you a free TV, but how much does it cost you to watch 4 hours of TV per day? There's so many of us as consumers that think about the little cost and not the big cost. But what I'm trying to show y'all is if you're trying to get to the next level, you need to always think about the big cost in everything. And one of the secrets is that the big cost is usually hidden. The cost that people are trying to sell you, that's the little cost. You got to think about, what is going to come on the back end of this? Okay, I might save a little bit money if I go and I shop off the dollar menu, but what will that cost me in the long run? These are things you got to understand. Okay. Shout out to my sister Ariel for giving the first donation for the night. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat, my sister. Really appreciate the support. Y'all, please make sure that y'all support this channel. Make sure that y'all keep this show going. If y'all want to see this show on air, then please donate. Just give a super chat. Or if you're watching this broadcast after the show is over, feel free to go to the links in the descriptions. You can donate there on Cash App or PayPal. Now, the next sign that you think poor is that you don't operate on a schedule. I've never seen a wealthy person that was bad with time. Every wealthy person I've ever met has always operated off of a routine. See, your life is a reflection of how you spend your time. Show me how you spend your time, and I could show you how successful and how wealthy you will be in the next 5 years. But a lot of us think that if we just, take life as it comes, go through the motions, then somehow the success is just going to knock on our door. Success ain't coming and knocking on your door. They're not giving away the success. If you want the success, you have to be very intentional and deliberate. And that's the reason why rich people have a schedule, because they understand that if they're going to be successful, they've got to hold themselves to a daily routine that keeps their success front of mind. They can't spend all day on social media. They can't spend all day gossiping and kikiing about some BS. They cannot do like how Pookie and Ray Ray off the block will do, where you just pitch the block all day and just, hang out. It cannot always be like that if you want to be successful. It's not to say that you can't never have fun, but you need to put that within your schedule. You need to know what days are you getting down to business and what days are you getting down to play. How much time are you going to put towards this business idea? And how much time are you going to put towards your recreation? If you don't have any schedule organizing your life, then that means that your life is going to be average. When you look at average people, they end up getting average result because they don't follow a schedule. Okay. You don't have to be the smartest person in the world. You don't even have to be the most hardworking person in the world, but you do have to follow the secrets of success. Everything that I'm giving to y'all in these 10 keys, these 10 signs are 10 keys to success. If you can avoid the 10 signs of a poverty mindset, you're well on your way to getting to the next level. And that's why the 10th sign of a poor mindset is you always rely on instant gratification. Your two favorite words are right now. Shout out to my sister Anika Davison. She says, I need to do better at creating value. I will be working on that this week. Thank you for the talk. I needed this live. Hey, anytime, my sister. Happy to have you on. Thank you for leaving me a comment. I want to go back to the very first sign. This is what Anika is talking about. The first sign that you think like a poor person is that you're always thinking like a consumer and not a producer. Consumers think that the only way that they can make money is if they put in more hours working for somebody else. Producers think I can make more money as long as I create the right value. You creating value is not tied to your time. Listen, guys, I'm going to give you all a secret. There have been weeks in my life where I've worked very hard and I made little to no money. There have been times where I didn't work at all and I made a lot of money. Do you know why that happens? Because when I started building my business, I started building products and services without money coming in. But then once the products and services were created and I could give them to more people, I just had to have my services on the website and people would buy it. I did not need to be physically present in order to make the money. So if somebody has created a smartphone app, they don't need to be physically present whenever you downloading that app off the app store. They could be sleeping. They could be watching the movies. They could be hanging out with friends. They could be on vacation. They could be doing a million and one different things that has nothing to do with trading their time. But a lot of us grew up thinking if I want to make more, I got to hustle, hustle, hustle. I got to work more hours at the job. I got to roll my sleeves up. Listen, the people that work the hardest in this society are the people that are struggling today. Your construction workers, the people that are waiting tables. These are some of the hardest working people on the planet, but they don't have the money to show for it. Why? Because they're putting in time, but that does not guarantee money in return. And even if putting in time did bring money in return, there's only so much time you can put in because there's so many hours in a day. The key to wealth creation is to build streams of revenue that are disassociated from the concept of time. Because if I can create a revenue stream independent of time, that means I have unlimited potential. If I can have a product that I can put on a website, that product can sell 24 hours a day. I don't work 24 hours a day, but I can make money 24 hours a day if I position myself for success. But you got to think about a producer. Who are the ones with products on their websites? Producers. Who are the ones giving value to people? Producers. I want y'all to think about something. Somebody had to produce this phone. The wealthy person isn't the person that bought the phone. The wealthy person is the person that made the phone, because the person that made the phone and sold the phone, they're the ones clocking the billions. It's a different game, man. I'm just telling you, it just hits different. When you put yourself in a position of being a producer, you're going to look at life a different way. I'm going to tell y'all something. I would tell this to Ariel for years. I'm not looking at what everybody else is doing. I'm going to create something because I need to look at what I'm giving out to other people. I don't know what this person is saying and what that person is saying. Only the consumers know everybody. It's just like in sports. There's some people that'll play basketball that focus on their game, and there's some people that watch the basketball players that know every stat. They know how many points you scored, how many rebounds you got, how many assists, how many steals, but you're not getting paid a dime off of the game. You know more about basketball than some of the people that's actually playing the game of basketball, but you ain't getting no money from none of these teams. That's the mindset of a consumer. I want you to notice when you go into a sports arena, there's only but so many people on the court or on the field. The majority of the people are in the stands. There are always going to be 100 times more consumers than there are producers. This is the reason why the rich get richer and the poor gets poor. The rich get richer because they're producing more things for the poor to consume. So you never want to be the person that's on the side of consumption. You want to be the builder. Okay. But it all starts here in the mind. Before you think about any invention or something like that, you got to think about just putting your mind in a position of giving value. How do I give service? One sign of a poor thinking person is that they want to be so selfish with everything that they get. But in order to be a producer, you have to be selfless, because the person that made this phone, they had to think about what other people would want in order to sell it to them. But some of y'all, you get so caught up in your own thoughts and what you want that you're never going to be in a position to give value to somebody else. In order to give value to somebody else, you got to be thinking about somebody else rather than yourself. If you're always thinking about you, this is poor mentality. Okay. So again, let's recap these 10. Number one is that you think like a consumer, not a producer. Okay. I want y'all to shift y'all's mindset so you think like a creator, because God said, be fruitful and multiply. Stop thinking that the only people that are rich are people that look rich. I told y'all before, get out of that hood rich mentality, man. Get out of that hood rich young money mindset that, okay, unless I'm balling and I look like I'm stunting, those are the only people that made it. Elon Musk don't care about how he dresses. Mark Zuckerberg don't care about how he dresses. These guys go to work every day in a t-shirt and flip-flops. What are we doing out here? This be the reason why we spend so much money but have so little to show, is because we think like a consumer, not a producer. Number two, stop relying on government bailouts. Listen, y'all, don't get me to lying. If a stimulus check comes in the mail, the best believe I'm going to cash it. I'm not going to turn it away. If it's coming to me, it's coming. But I'm not going to be sitting up waiting for the stimulus check to come. I'm going to be focusing on producing so much that if any check or handout does come from the government, that's just an added bonus. That has nothing to do with whether I eat or not. Some of y'all put yourselves in a position, y'all put y'all's family in a position where you rely on the government to determine whether you eat or not. I'm saying, don't put yourself in a space where you rely on somebody else to determine whether or not you will eat. Start producing your own streams of income that looks out for you. And if anything else comes on the side, then cool, but you're not even checking for that money. Number three, you don't focus on self-improvement. You'll put more hope in a lottery ticket than you place in yourself. That's a poor mentality. And everybody growing up in the hood, they know how to scratch the numbers, but not everybody growing up knows how to start their own business, how to invest in passive streams of income. Why do you think that in impoverished neighborhoods, it's so much more common for people to gamble than it is for people to own something themselves? It's a setup, y'all. It's by design. Number four, the fourth sign that you think like a poor person is that you don't have a budget. Everything is a guessing game. Listen, y'all, rich people ain't guessing nothing. They're not guessing what's going to make them successful. They're not guessing how much money they have. They're studying the game. They're studying their money. They're studying the market. They're studying their approach. Everything that they do is calculated. You have to calculate how many dollars and cents that you have. Otherwise, you're going to lose it. Number five, the fifth sign that you think like a poor person is that you hang around toxic people. Rich people are very mindful about their circle. Why do y'all think Bill Gates and Warren Buffett are friends? Why do y'all think that Elon Musk and Richard Branson, who owns Virgin Airlines, why do y'all think they are friends? Do y'all think that they just like each other like that? Or do y'all think that they're friends because winners attract winners? You got to put yourself in a presence of winners if you want to win. Number six, a big sign that you think like a poor person is that you never pay off debt. You're always making an excuse. So you're going to be the person that's always going to bank on some fly by night investment to always be able to pay off your debts. What if that never happens for you? What I'm saying is you could end up landing on an investment every now and then that could outperform your debts. But the best long-term solution is for you to pay off your debt, because if that lottery mentality never pays off, then you're still going to be stuck with Sally Mae. And when you look at your net worth, your assets minus your liabilities, a lot of y'all will still be on the negative side of liabilities because of your debts, even if you never hit it big on any business idea or any investment. If you had zero liabilities, any $1 that you made is in the black. Every $1 is an asset and not a liability. So that guarantees that you have wealth creation. Number seven, you chase the latest fads. Today you're talking about crypto, tomorrow you're talking about gold. The very next day after that, you're talking about art. You're talking about trading cards. Which one of these things will you double down on so strong that you'll actually make something of yourself with it? You know, if you only put just a little bit in any one area, you don't have enough energy behind it in order for it to turn into something. You're not going to get rich off of just one share of a stock, one share of a crypto. Even if you only had one Bitcoin, if a Bitcoin is only $50,000, you're not going to be retired for the rest of your life off of $50,000. Even if you were in Bitcoin, you still needed multiple coins, several coins, in order to be financially free. And that's what y'all got to see, man. Like, no matter how good the money train is in any one area, if you don't have enough momentum in that area, there's only so far you can go. That's the reason why when Buffett buys companies, when he's investing in companies, Buffett ain't buying one or two shares. He's buying millions of shares. But you got to go hard enough in that area in order for it to turn into something. Number eight, you focus on cost, not value. Okay, this phone, I keep pulling up this phone because we all have it and we all spend the money on it. And this be one of the main things that'll keep our expenses racked up and our time racked up. You might spend $1,000 on this phone. Some of y'all, this phone is costing you millions because you have so many gifts and talents inside of you that will never see the light of day because you're too busy swiping on this. You're too busy. Ooh, look what she said. Ooh, I'm about to DM her. Yeah, she looked good. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, what's up? Yeah, how are you? My name is this. Where do you live? Okay. Yeah. Swipe right. However much money you paid for this, I guarantee you it's costing you a lot more than whatever it is that you paid, unless you are using this device as a producer. Now, if you use this device only to make cold calls for sales, to build your network with other high value people, then I can't tell you nothing. But if you use this phone like the majority of people, which is checking this device over 200 times a day, largely for entertainment, this is costing you far more money than you will ever spend on it. And the reason why we all find ourselves victim to this is because you only focus on cost, not value. Some of the cheapest things in the world are the most expensive. Some of the people that have the highest medical bills are the ones who are spending so little money buying off that dollar menu. And the people that's staying out of those hospital rooms are the ones that are going and buying all these organic goods and produce that might have cost a little bit more money up front, but it saves them money on the back end. You need to start focusing on, what do I get out of this, rather than how much does it cost. Number 9 is you don't operate on a schedule. Number 10 is instant gratification. Listen, y'all, I'm just giving y'all some light work just to start out the week. All right, I'm gonna be back on here tomorrow. Y'all know, as with every episode, I make sure that I give y'all as much free game as possible. So to make sure that you put yourself in the mindset of wealth creation, I'm gonna give y'all these 2 free stocks. Shout out to my sister Nikki P. If y'all love tonight's broadcast, please make sure that y'all do me a favor and smash that like button. Just hit that. That's for free. If y'all love this channel and you want to be able to support the show to keep it going, then please donate, y'all. Your donations go a very long way to keeping this show on air. All right. All you got to do is tap that dollar icon directly below the live chat box. Or if you want to send money on Cash App, just hit $Blackman's Career. The donation information is in the description below. All right. So shout out to Weeble. Weeble is going to give you all these 2 free stocks. If you're just now joining, tonight I talked about the 10 signs that you think like a poor person. Make sure that you watch this video so that way y'all stop doing this. If you just simply undo the 10 things that we went over tonight, you will put yourself in a different tax bracket. Start here by getting these 2 free stocks. Nothing to lose. Okay, again, it's not about the cost, it's about the value. And Webull allows you to invest not only in stocks, but cryptocurrency. All you got to do is set up your account. And as soon as you do so, Webull will give you 2 free stocks just for being a part of the Uzziah show. Okay. Oh, as always, I'm gonna start doing this too. I'm gonna just start check out my website. You know, I always tell you all about things like my book, the How to Succeed Survival Guide. I tell you all about my free master classes. But if y'all want to know all of the different bits of value that I have to offer, then make sure that you check out my site right here. Make sure that y'all check out my site right here, because I'm going to give y'all a link to where you can get access to my free book. You can access my 12-month coaching program, and so many other things. Y'all know on this channel, I show you how to manage your money so you can create generational wealth. I show you how to manage your time so that you can get a lot more things done. I show you all the things that you need to do in order to get to the next level. So if y'all love this channel and you love what it's about, please make sure that y'all click that link that's in the comments section. Okay. I got a lot of great content in there, things that's designed to help you create generational wealth, help you get a better job in 90 days if that's what you're trying to do, help you maximize your productivity, things to help you look your best. I got some fashion stuff in there. I got a lot in there. So just check that out, y'all. But make sure y'all rock with me tomorrow. I'll be back on here tomorrow, Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Please leave me a comment below if you want me to talk about something on an upcoming show. If y'all got a specific question on something, or if y'all are looking for answers on a specific problem that y'all are going through, please make sure that y'all leave me a comment below. Let me know what you want me to talk about on a future episode, and who knows, the next show I might be talking to you. All right, love y'all. I pray that y'all have a great week. Until next time.